and I am a chef instructor at Italy in New York City. I grew up in Latvia, and my grandmother owned her own restaurant. Most of my cooking experience comes from her.
I'm wondering when they're going to bring in the competition.
Hey guys! Happy Friday! Are you guys ready for some risotto action? All right, so everything is good? Everyone can hear me? Yes, Aaron. Cheers, paper plane. Can I get another one, please? Excuse me. Yes, okay, awesome. First things first, what kind of rice you want to use? I love this rice specifically, but you can use arborio rice. And no, you cannot use regular rice, okay? Yeah, this rice is very important. And then you can definitely use stock, but I'm actually gonna make my own stock. You guys know what we're cooking, right? I'm cooking amazing risotto with a truffle. I wish I could have you guys all over, but stupid COVID, okay? Truffle risotto, dry aged steak. It's gonna get smoky in here and so good. And then rapini with a little honey, a little chili. Yes, Karsten, whoop whoop, make the truffle rain. Okay, so I'm gonna start with shallot for my risotto. And I'm actually gonna save all my trimmings and I'm gonna add it right into my pot here with cold water, and that's gonna be my stock. So it's gonna be my flavor. Hello, hello. That's gonna be my flavor, right? And I don't like buying the stock stuff from carton because there's so much sodium in there. Very unnecessary, okay? I don't know half of the ingredients. So I'm just gonna use this trimmings from my shallots. Nothing goes to waste. Love shallots. Yes, I know, it's like a sweet onion and a garlic in one, okay? And that's a shallot. Chefs love shallots. I use them in everything. Yeah, right? Who wants gross stock? Okay, so that's gonna go on the back burner. Also, there's so much sodium, right? And especially with sauces, you wanna control the salt content. You don't want it to be super, super salty. Okay, so a fine dice of my shallot. Guys, just freaking distracting me here. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little shallot action. Excuse me, I was pretty serious about a paper plane. Can I get another paper plane, please? Okay, shallot diced, trying not to cry. Okay, I'm gonna use this pan. Yep, I'm gonna use this pan for my risotto. I'm gonna use olive oil. So as a rule of thumb, it's probably about a cup of risotto rice to about 4 cups of stock. Okay, and you can use chicken stock, you can do beef, and really like you can do any types of, why is this beeping? Stop beeping, please. You can really use any kind of stock or risotto, right? You can do, you can even do, when I worked at Italy, we did like scallop, and we actually thinly sliced scallop, and we would put it underneath on the cold plate, and then hot, yes, finally. Hi. Yeah, the shallot puns are out of control. Okay. Yeah, it's all about name dropping, okay? When I worked with Mario Itali and Italy, Lydia Bastianich, yeah. Okay, So generous amount of olive oil. I guess I'm gonna shimmy this to the side. Okay, so yeah, sorry, going back to the scallop risotto, it was so good. It was like thinly sliced scallops at the bottom of the plate and then hot risotto on top. And it was like lemony. Oh, it was so good, but kind of fishy from the scallops. Yum. Okay, so I have to say, I worked at a couple of cooking stores where we sell cookware, and I might have heard that people use Instapots nowadays to make risotto. Okay, but for real, would a Nona make risotto in an Instapot? I don't think so, okay? So, no, not happening. I do have an Instapot. I've never tried to make risotto. Risotto has to be like, you have to put love into it. And there's so much stirring and sweating over this pan. And that is the flavor in your risotto, okay? So in goes chopped garlic. Actually, with Mario Vitali, yeah, there were some interesting days. Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the wrong camera because I'm a big noob. I'm very new to this world, but there's so much to read. Guys, kick back. Move the rice. The rice is in the way. Guys, I'm sweating here. Yeah, crime, I know, exactly. All right, so garlic is in. Garlic burns really fast, so you don't want to add it in a hot pan. I'm gonna go in with my rice here. So this is shallot, sweating. This is coming to a temperature there. You know what? I have some extra shallots here. I'm gonna dump the extra shallots in there for my extra flavor in the stock. All right. So you can actually save all of this, keep it in a Ziploc bag in your freezer, and then when a recipe calls for stock, you just dump it into a cold pot of water, and there you have it. You have stock in like 20 minutes. Thanks guys. All right, so I don't want too much color on this, okay? Because I don't want to see my like caramelized onion and risotto. I want it to be like perfect and creamy and white. In goes my risotto rice. This is my favorite type of rice, okay? I get it at Cheese Boutique. It's so good. So this is where it's really important to, you know what, this is way too small, sorry. I am going to transfer this in here. So then I can add my stock, right? Because there's going to be about 4 cups of stock. I kind of went a little crazy with my rice amount in here, okay? Okay. Olive oil. All right. I'm going to turn this up. So this is really important. We're toasting the rice before we add the salt and the stock, okay? And that's because that kind of toast, so first of all, it's really important for flavor. Second of all, it toasts and kind of gets a harder shell on the outside, so it seals in the flavor, and also it doesn't get totally overcooked, so you have that a little bit of that bite and al dente. So all that starch oozes out, so it's like mushy and delicious, but with a little bite. So the toasting is actually really important, okay? So I'm gonna crank this. And you actually want to feel it, okay? And I've seen I know someone that went to all these rice farms, and she was telling me this awesome story how they make the rice there in Italy. And this older woman, she was the Nona, I'm just assuming, she was like doing this, okay? And she kind of the chef that I worked with at the time, she thought that this Nona was like super bored because she was just standing there going like this. But she was actually testing for the heat and the toastiness of this rice, okay? So it was like the perfect temperature, and once it was nice and hot to the touch, then she knew to add the stock. So smart. How's it going, guys? Yeah, I can't start over. All right, crazy people. Okay, I'm gonna test this. Yeah, nice and warm, sounds good. Now, this is where you add that generous pinch of salt, okay? And because if you don't add the salt now, if you add it later, you'll have the perfect like salty, saucy creaminess around the rice, but it's not gonna be like penetrated in this risotto, which is very important. I hope you guys are all having some delicious wine right now, because it's Friday. Whoop, whoop. All right, so that was my, oh, so good. I'm smelling that garlic, a little toastiness. In goes my white wine, which I need to get. And you want to use, this is Pinot Grigio. You want to use pretty dry, crispy white wine, not like a Chardonnay, because the oakiness of it is really going to overpower the flavor. You could probably do it if it was like a fall risotto with, let's say, like shrooms, you know, not truffle, different things. But you don't want to do strong oaky flavor with a truffle, right? Okay, so I'm gonna add this white wine, probably about a cup. You wanna hear this really nice sizzling, okay? And a rule of thumb, whenever you add white wine or any booze to any sauces, any dishes, always reduce by half, okay? So let's say I added a cup, reduce by half. There's all these spoons that are sold that are special for risotto. They're usually like wooden and they have a hole in the center. I don't know how I feel about them. I don't know if you really need it, okay? I just use a spatula or a wooden spoon. You really do want, I find spatula works the best because I like to kind of press on the rice, and you want to smear it like we used to have to at Italy, just go like this, like to the sides. And this releases the starch from the rice. How's it going, guys? Reduce? Oh, reduce means like evaporate, okay? So let's say I added a cup of white wine. I want it to evaporate with this really nice bubbling simmer to a half of that amount, okay? So a half a cup. And basically with booze, you want to give it a smell, and like I'm getting like a whiff of alcohol, okay? Like you don't want to get drunk from this. It overpowers all the flavors, so you want to keep smelling in it until you actually don't smell the alcohol and you just smell the flavor. Like flavor of the rice or whatever, the butter, olive oil, the shallots, the garlic. I don't know, there's some good Pinot Grigios. Actually, this one's really good. New Zealand, Oyster Bay. I like, you know, change it up sometimes. Okay, so the most important rule with your risotto, guys, is you add stock when you do this and you see the bottom of the pan, and you have like about 30 seconds or 20 seconds until it all joins together. That's when you add stock, okay? And check out this stock. It looks really beautiful. Do you see this color? It's like nice and different color than the water. Okay, so now you want to add about a ladle at a time. I really need to strain this. Sorry. Okay. So a little ladle, and now I'm going to turn up the heat. And now you just stir, and we hang out, drink some wine. Oh, my steak. I'm going to pull out my steak. The reason I have it on this rack is because I find that sometimes it's like wrapped in paper and it gets all wet and moisty, and you want it to be really nice and dry because of the searing. When we sear it, you want, really, really nice caramelization. Yeah, there's a steak. Truffle, risotto, caramelized, there's no caramelized, seared Striplion, aged Striplion steak with rapini. Yeah, it's happening. Okay, do you see this really nice creaminess? Do you see how I'm doing this little shimmy and it kind of joins, but it joins quite fast actually. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. So I'm not quite ready, but I'm almost there to add my next ladle of stock. Nice. I am going to use this for blanching my rapini. I'm gonna add some water. What's everyone having for dinner tonight? I hope it's something special because it's Friday. Yes. Okay, so I am ready. Check this out. So do the shimmy. I see the bottom of the pan really well. Now goes in my next ladle of stock. Okay, so see, Instant Pot. You can't do this in Instant Pot. That's crazy. That's like, no. There has to be love that goes into food. I find that if I have like a really bad day and I'm just like flying through my cooking, I just spit everywhere. Good thing you guys aren't here to eat this food. Yeah, I you know, like I know the days that I'm not feeling it and I'm not in love with it. I taste it in my food. I really do. Yeah, Island, Wyatt, whoop. Happy Friday. Is it a movie night? I hope it is. Okay. Getting there. I'm not gonna start tasting it until I really know that it's like half cooked. Right now it's like a quarter cooked. But do you see this really nice creaminess? By the way, some restaurants actually add cream. Yeah. No. Not good. Okay, another ladle. I am ready. Look at this really nice color of stock. Okay, this was just from shallots. If you have any scraps in your fridge, garlic, some bay leaves, some carrot peels, whatever, add it. All right, this is looking good. Heidi from BC. Whoa, hi. Oh, blanching. Yeah, I can definitely explain blanching. So, as a rule of thumb, any like greens, especially this like bitter greens, or broccoli, whenever you want to grill it, blanch it first. So hot water, I'm waiting for this to come to a boil. Then as soon as it's boiling, like crazy bubbles, boiling, not simmering, like not kind of like, you know, like boiling, okay? Then you season it heavily with water, with salt, because I love salt, but also just makes it taste really good, right? Then you add your whatever greens, like broccoli, rapini. Rapini tends to be bitter, so if I wanted to grill this, you can go direct, but then it's gonna be super crunchy. So I find blanching it takes away some of that bitter. Not all of it, because I do like some bitter. And then you sear it, or I'm actually gonna, I think, use my same pan for my striploin steak and add it right into the pan with like olive oil or whatever, the butter. I'm gonna add some thyme. Yeah, it's gonna be really good. So that was blanching. Dry souffle. Yes. Steak, it's coming, guys, it's coming. I want to get this cooked probably like 3/4 of the way, and then I'm gonna go in with, hi Julie, I'm gonna get this hi, I'm gonna get this like 3/4 of the way cooked. And then I'm gonna sear my steak while my steak is resting, because you always wanna let your steak rest at least 5 minutes, because all those juices in there are running wild. They're like very hot and heavy and excited. And if you go and you split it and like have a little peek inside, what happens is those juices come out gushing, right? And then you end up with a dry steak. We don't want that. So any protein I cook, let it rest for at least 5 minutes before you cut into it. So while it's resting, I'm gonna finish my risotto, and that's the fun part. I hope you stick around, because it's gonna be like butter and cheese and my truffle. Where's my truffle? Where's my truffle? My truffle. So good. Oh, okay. I'm ready for my next ladle of stock. Whoop. That goes in. And you know what? I'm gonna actually taste the stock part just to see what I'm at with salt, because I don't want it to taste bland. Yeah. I mean, do you see how much stock I have added, right? So it kind of dilutes the flavor, so I'm gonna go in with a little more salt. Ivan? Who's Ivan? All right, so we're gonna give this a good stir. This is simmering. Do you guys see this? There's some action happening. In goes my rapini. And really like 20-second blanch, like super quick. I didn't even add enough water here, so I'm just gonna kind of like flip it like this. Boom, done, comes out. So basically just until it's kind of like wilty looking, and that's gonna go into my pan. Into my steak pan. When I sear my steak, all those juices are gonna come out. I'm gonna finish it with a little butter, and then I'm gonna put the rapini in there, and that's gonna pick up some of that delicious juiciness. Cheers, guys. Or a rapini, what? Rapini cam. Yeah. Right here. Right here. It's okay, I got it. I got it. All right. I'm gonna season that with a little salt. This is my delicious Parmesan cheese that we're gonna use. This smells so good. Do you guys see this? Like, it's all like cream, basically. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Cheese, there's never too much cheese. It's like it's like the size of my face. Oh no, who's Joe? Why is he gone? Why did we lost Joe? Oh no. All right. Now I'm gonna actually, screw it, I'm gonna double dip, because let's be serious, it's COVID, I'm only cooking for myself and Nathaniel. Okay, crunchy. Good salt, but a little crunchy. And really, remember the stirring. So what the stirring does is really releases the starch from that rice. Because if you just kind of let it boil, like the rice, if you think about the rice grains, they're not disturbed, right? So they're just kind of hanging out and like simmering, right? They don't release as much of that creaminess and the starch, which makes it a risotto creamy, as much as, more starch and creaminess with a spatula, effort, sweating, hot, panting here, all this love that's going in. As opposed to like Instapot and like letting it do its thing, and yeah. Also, you want to burn some calories before you, like, you know, have all this extra calories.
What kind of cheese is that?
It is Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. You can use pecorino as well. Oh, what cheese? Sorry, yes, Parm, yeah, Parm. Thank you, thank you. Cyril, are you cooking alongside? Are you cooking with me? Or just drinking? Cheers, Key. It's the real parm. Yeah, it really is. I mean, look at this. You want it like, oh, you just want it to smell good. Also, I find, you know, like store-bought Parmesan. Also, never, yeah, store-bought Parmesan. It's not the same. I get this from Cheese Boutique. I love Cheese Boutique. Shout out to them. But don't buy the Parmesan and like shredded stuff. I don't know what goes in that. I might have read a book that said that it was like sawdust. Yeah. Okay, ready for another ladle of stock. And you know how? Because I do this, I see the bottom of the pan, I'm ready. My risotto's ready. Also, it helps if you talk to your risotto because you're, you know, giving it love. Love tastes good. Yes, totally. Derek, you know it. You know it. What? Parm rinds. Yes, save your parm rinds. They're the best. You can keep them in the freezer. I use them for stocks, soups. By the way, they are umami. So do you guys know what umami is? So there's 5 tastes in your mouth. Do you guys know what they are? It's sweet, salty, savory, bitter, and then there's umami. So the 5th one. And the umami basically literally means delicious. Okay, so it's like when you taste something and you start drooling and salivating and you're like, oh, that was so good, I want some more. That is umami. And it's basically all of those taste buds together. So you get the sweet and the bitter and the salty and the savory. And then of course, now we have MSG, which is a chemical, which makes you want that delicious umami. But Parmesan is a natural umami. So is tomato paste. So is porcini mushrooms. By the way, secret ingredient, if you ever want to have that umami taste, take some porcini mushrooms, grind them up, super powder, like thin, and then add it to your steak spice. And everyone's gonna be like, oh my God, what is that? It tastes so good. And you're gonna be like, watch Chef Sasha's cooking shows. Secret ingredient, all right? So ready for another ladle? No, who is this? Nathaniel? Listen to the show, okay? Yeah, I am a parm horde. Not horde. Hey, Mike. Mike has joined. Mike Bertone 7 and Bertone 7. We worked at Italy together. He knows what's up. He knows this. We used to have to go in for prep at Italy, and we would make like massive batches of risotto to make supli, which was basically like arancini, but like tiny supli stuffed with mozzarella. So we would cook like a massive pot of risotto and then use the leftovers the next day to make supli. Oof, that was a production, right? Miss those days. Cheers, guys. Okay, this is looking really creamy. I'm actually gonna give it another taste. Oh yeah, halfway cooked. It's good. I'm gonna add a little more salt, just because I know I'm adding stock, and the stock that I made has no salt in it. So I am in control of my salt. Whereas if you buy the carton stuff, you're not in control of your salt. You don't know how much you're adding in. So I added some salt because I know that I'm gonna add up probably most of this, which is not seasoned, so it'll dilute this flavor, right? So I need some salt in there. Love those days, I know. Good times. All right, I'm gonna actually strain my stock into this bowl. I think we're actually getting very close to the steak time. I'm thinking like 3 minutes, 4 minutes till steak time. All right, my stock. So that's about right. So 4 cups of stock to about a cup of rice. I might have gotten a little greedy. I went with like a cup and a half. I'm hungry. Yeah, MSG is definitely, it's really sad because you really don't need it in a lot of dishes, but it's like a cheat, right? Like, not a good cheat. But tomato paste is a really good like umami flavor. Anchovies. So anchovies. Actually, I know a lot of people that hate anchovies, but you add like the tiniest amount. So good. And it makes you like salivate, like what I was telling you, like the umami where you get all the taste buds. Okay, I'm seeing my spatula, my dry bottom there. So I'm gonna go in with another ladle of stock. And I think this might be my last one before I start my steak. The rice type, yeah, huge thing. So one question at a time, okay? Brian, hi, welcome. Hi, Sharon and Brian. Okay, so the rice that I'm using is arborio rice. Sorry, I might have had some wine. No, but you can use arborio rice. I use the Carnaroli. I just find that I like the consistency that it makes. The arborio rice, the grains are slightly shorter and they kind of puff up more, whereas I find this has a bit more a bite to it. I got this at my local Italian store. But arborio rice you can definitely use. Unfortunately, you can't really use any other rice. Like you can't do basmati and you can't do parboiled. Parboiled rice actually goes through like a process where it's like parboiled, so it's like steamed, washed, steamed, and then dried. So it's kind of par cooked essentially. So it doesn't have as much of that creaminess or the starch, right? If you ever find like parboiled rice, you can cook the crap out of it and it still won't overcook, okay? And it's because it goes through a process. So no parboiled. So arborio or this rice, there's some other Italian rices that are really, really great. I actually have a comparison I want to show you. Oops. Bomba rice is a Spanish rice and that's used for paella. So it uses, this is about 1 cup of rice to 4 cups of stock. So it does really like poof up. The bomba rice is about 1 to 3 cups. And I find that arborio rice gets poofed up like lengthwise. Bomba rice is Spanish rice and it gets poofed up like widthwise. So this is used for paellas or Spanish dishes. That's a whole other live thing, or my YouTube channel class. So paella, yeah, whole other world. Spain, Italy, we're not there. We're in Italy tonight. Did I also mention that it's calorie-free Friday? Because I'm gonna add a lot of delicious cheese to this. Uncle, excuse me, Uncle Ben's is, can we ban this user, Cyril Borowski? He's talking about Uncle Ben's. and Karsten too, maybe. All right. Yes, Anna. That's right. Okay. How do we get to Italy when I know Italy, my house, it's happening tonight. I wish you could come. All right, I'm gonna give this another taste. Oh yeah. Okay, guys, moving to the side. I'm having way too much time and I'm having way too much fun and I'm talking too much. That rice is 3/4 of the way cooked, so I'm gonna do my steak. Okay. All this risotto creaminess on here. Okay, so my delicious strip loin steak that I have on here. So I have to keep in mind, there's a lot of things that you want to, excuse me. Oh, thank you. You can leave now. Thank you. Okay, great. We have some more white wine, red wine. Okay. It says it's hot, but it's not. There we go. Okay, so I want to get this nice and hot. Two things you want to consider is your steak room temperature. Mine has been out for probably 10 minutes, so it's definitely getting kind of room temperature territory, or you're going cold, right? So if it's cold, it's going to take probably a little bit more to cook. I would go kind of lower and slower, so you get that caramelization on the outside, but then you get like medium rare. So I'm cooking my steak medium rare, just so everyone knows. But if you do room temperature, it's gonna go a lot quicker, okay? And the key to like a perfect steak is having like the perfect sear on the outside. You don't wanna have like, imagine this is a steak. You don't wanna have like half of it well done and the center totally like medium rare or rare, right? You want it to be like this perfect sear of like just a tiny cooked on the outside and then all nice and juicy and medium rare in the center. So that is what we want, and so you want to get your pan really nice and hot. So I'm gonna get this hot. I'm gonna add my oil. I want this like shimmering, kind of almost smoking. I'm gonna season my steak very generously with salt and pepper on both sides. And I'm gonna do a little flippy flip and more black pepper and more salt. I love my salt. It's on the rack because you want it nice and dry. This is my guest. Oh, excuse me. My guest just stole my wine. Missing the comments here. I mean, there's a lot of fun happening here without me, it feels like. Yes, I hope my channel explodes too. Talk about me, guys. Do you see the smoke? I'm seeing the smoke. Frozen pizza? Who's having frozen pizza? Also, bar? You're at a bar? COVID times. Guys. Okay. Yeah, great question. Cast iron over stainless steel. I love cast iron, but to be perfectly honest with you, I don't have a fan above me, and I absolutely hate the smoke in my house after. But I would definitely, if you have a really good fan, I would use cast iron. So always be in control of your heat. I'm taking off my pan off the heat because it was really, really smoky. Stainless steel is just as great because you want to get that really, really nice caramelization. And you want to hear the really, really nice sizzle. So cast iron just holds the heat really, really well. It stays hot for way longer as opposed to like a stainless steel, but that's okay. As long as, just do not use non-stick, okay? So do you guys see the smoke? Maybe not, but you always want to test with whatever you're cooking. So if you're hearing like a really nice sizzle, I'm ready. Don't test it with water. A lot of people test it with water. I don't know why. Really silly. Okay, get it really, really nice and hot. Beautiful. I'm gonna move this to the side. And then I'm gonna add some half garlic cloves, toast those in there a little bit, some thyme. My stock I'm still gonna need to use actually. My truffle, if anyone is joining in just now, there's some truffle action that's gonna happen later with my shaver. And there's a lot of Parmesan. Okay, truffle Parmesan, stick around. It's coming, the best part. Also, don't ever like mess with the steak, okay? You put it in and you leave it. You don't wanna like, you know, hockey puck it, okay? So you don't wanna like keep moving it around. I don't actually know anything about hockey, I'm just using the term because I heard it. I sound like I know things. So you really want that really, really nice caramelization. So put it in and just let it do its thing, okay? If you ever have protein where you like put it in and you're kind of unpeeling it from the bottom of the pan, that means it's not ready for you to touch it or for you to flip it. It's stuck for a reason because it didn't build that really nice crust and that caramelization. And therefore it's not ready for you to move it, okay? It's telling you something. Don't try and move it. Yeah, cast iron is amazing. I love cast iron. Trust me, my whole thing here is actually cast iron. This is actually a scan pan. I love it. It's cast iron, but it really works like, do you see how shiny it is? It works really well because it's seasoned, even for eggs. It doesn't stick. And I'll show you my favorite one. But to be honest with you, this is what I would do it in. But the fan, I mean, there's some smoke here, but it's not like as smoky as with cast iron. Oh yeah, do you guys see this? Sexy. Wait. Oh God, juice is dripping. Oh boy. Okay, I'm flipping it. Oh, so good. It smells really, really amazing. I wish you were here. I wish COVID was not happening. Yeah, so Derek, great question. How does risotto keep? So that's why I cooked it probably 3/4 of the way with plenty of stock in there. And I removed it and put it aside to off the heat. And I'm gonna finish it in front of you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna finish in front of you guys. But don't cook it all the way where you add the butter and the parm, because unfortunately it does seize and it'll just become like a big buttery blob. We don't want that. So part cook it, and then look at this garlic. Oh, so good. My garlic cloves are actually toasting a little too much maybe, so I'm gonna put it on top so it doesn't keep burning. Yeah, so if you add your butter and your parm and you're like, it's done, it's kind of like a pasta. It doesn't wait for you, you wait for the pasta. Like you should sit there and be like, okay, is the pasta ready? Okay, pasta's ready. Or is my risotto coming? Like it should be hot off the stove. You get this beautiful wave, and I'll show you what I mean with risotto. Like I'm gonna do a shimmy and it should have like a little floppy wave. That's what you want to see, and that's when I'm ready to serve it. Because as it sits, unfortunately, it just like hardens. Like all that starch, it just kind of like seizes, like pasta does. And then you know what? If it's like leftovers like that, that's when you use it for our arancini or soupli. What's happening here? Okay, so yeah. Don't baseball the steak. No, it's not baseball. I had a hockey reference and was very proud of it. Pocket. Yeah, I heard that somewhere. What kind of vino you got there? Oh, I like my assistant. Excuse me, whoever stole my wine. What am I drinking tonight? I'm not too sure what I'm drinking. It's very good. You can see it in my cheeks. I'm loving it. I may have also had a paper plane before this to like get in the mood. Yes, this is my assistant. We are having a California classic, California Merlot. I love my full-bodied reds. But for the risotto, we're using Pinot Grigio, nice and crispy, light. Since I'm having steak tonight, I'm gonna do, excuse me, you can go. You can go. Since I'm having steak tonight, I'm kind of allowing myself to have red. But by the way, have I mentioned you can actually use red wine in your risotto? It's just as good, especially with like mushroom and porcinis. Oh, yum. And even truffle. Do you see this? What's happening? Oh, so good. Are you guys seeing this? Oh yeah. Sexy, sexy. Just beautiful caramelization. So I've cooked it about, I would say, 2.5 minutes per side. And honestly, no matter how much of a pro you are, I use a thermometer, okay? And yes, I think I'm a pro. No, I don't. I still don't call myself a chef. It's kind of weird. Use the thermometer, especially for chicken, right? Like I hate dried chicken. And if you don't know what your temperature is at, just use the thermometer, then you know, and it's gonna be nice and juicy, right? I find this whole trick, you know, where this is like, this is well done, right? So the pinky, where you touch the pinky, the pinky, that's well done. And I'm feeling it in here. This is like medium rare, right? And this is like rare, right? So it's like nice and jiggly. You know what? I find that it doesn't always work because it depends what kind of cut of meat you have. Sometimes you have a lot fattier cuts. With tenderloin, I find it always takes me longer to cook because it's so lean. Who's messaging me? Whoever's messaging me should be on here. I'm not gonna look. Yes, high quality TV. I hope you're a Slava Greenco. Interesting. I hope you are also having a paper plane or a glass of red wine. Yes, I do like my assistant coming and staying, but my assistant, Chiburashka, keeps stealing my wine, so I'm gonna, Chiburashka can stay out. Okay, anyways, so I'm gonna measure my temperature. 120 is perfect for medium rare. I'm about 109. And you know what? Give it a poke a couple of times. That's fine. That's good. You want to be safe and sorry. And I do this with my chicken a lot too, because I find chicken is a huge thing where a lot of people are so afraid of the salmonella and they overcook it and they kill it like 10 times over and over, okay? Don't kill your chicken so many times. It's already dead. You know, it's gonna be dry and gross. You want it nice and juicy. A chicken breast should be like 135 when you remove it. Let it rest for 5 minutes. Then it's a perfect internal temperature of about 150. As a rule of thumb, I would say it goes up by 10 degrees at least. 7 to 10 degrees. So if you take it off at 135, it'll go up to 145 max. My steak here, if I want it medium rare, 120. I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna let it rest for probably 5 minutes while I finish my risotto. Oh, my rapini is gonna go in next. While I finish my risotto, and then that's gonna go up to like 125, 127, and it'll be perfect. Oh, so juicy, juicy. I'm so excited. Yeah, it's churrasco. Mitchell Arendt. Okay, so I wish you guys were here to smell this. It smells so good. And what I'm doing now is just kind of making sure that the fat on the outside is all sort of rendered, like seared nicely. Oh, it's so good. I'm gonna actually turn it right off. Just wanna get this like really nice and close to you. Do you guys see this? Do you see this? Yeah, I just wanna swim in this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is move it to the side. I'm gonna let it rest. Why is churrasco here? I bet it wants wine. I know it. Okay, my rapini, which has been previously blanched, excuse me, which has been previously blanched. It's spitting things on me. This is not even on. It says hot, okay? So it's just hot. And now I'm gonna go with, I seasoned it. So I blanched it, sorry, for about 20 seconds. I seasoned it with a little salt. I'm gonna do a little chili flakes. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of honey, because I love that. Remember talking about all those taste buds, the salt, the bitter. So this is salty, bitter, spicy, savory, and a little sweet. A little honey. I wish we had some music. But my assistant churrasco is, I think, a little happy from all the wine it's been stealing from me. Okay, so this is gonna get kind of nice and warm in here. I'm gonna move it to my side, and I'm gonna finish my risotto. I can't work when it's a mess. I have to clean up, okay. So do you see how this is like absorbed all that stock, okay? So, are you guys ready for this? This is the best part. I don't even know what's happening here anymore. Oh. All right. Okay. So, where's my stock? Okay, stock right here. So I've cranked the temperature. I'm gonna lower it. I'm adding my stock. Excuse me. My dog is in the way. I'm gonna give it a little taste. I really do wish you guys were all here tasting this deliciousness. Oh, because my assistant doesn't, I don't know if my assistant really deserves it. Oh yeah, music. Yeah, I'm feeling it. All right, best part, Parmesan, the best. I'm gonna use my rasp, which I absolutely love. It's a complete mess in here, I'm really sorry. Okay, it's really hard for me to hold this. This is like really huge. I'm gonna break it. And so this is, I would say, I'm gonna add in all my stock. It's pretty much there. I'm actually just bringing it up to temperature. So Derek, this is how you kind of like bring it back to life. Add some more stock, because if you think about it, it's gonna have butter that's gonna go in, and it's gonna have cheese that goes in, and it's gonna seize again and get kind of dry and like, ooh. So you wanna loosen it up. And getting distracted. So you want to bring it up to temperature. I'm going to crank the heat. As soon as I'm starting to see some simmering. Oh yeah, music. There's music happening. Skyrim recipes. Send me what you want to see. I will make it. I will make it happen. Skyrim or maybe other video games. I'm down. Derek, I know you know more recipes from video games. I'm down. Just send me some ideas. That's all I need. All right, so I'm seeing some action. Things are happening. I'm gonna get butter. 1 second. All right, a little butter because you can't have too much cheese or butter. I can't sing. All right. Oh yeah, this looks so good. It's turning. I'm done. Okay, it's turning off. I'm actually gonna remove it from the heat completely because, excuse me, assistant. I'm gonna put it. I'm back. So I'm gonna add my cheese, like a ton of cheese. Okay, maybe I'm gonna get sweaty probably. Get ready. Yes. All right, butter is going in. And I know it's like 2 tablespoons of butter, okay? It looks like a lot, but it's not a lot because it's calorie-free Friday, you know, and I'm gonna share with my assistant, maybe. Oh yeah, look at that cheese. Also guys, I have to say, a lot of people add basil to their risotto. Not crazy. I find that it overpowers the taste. Sometimes I love it in pasta and stuff, but with risotto, it's just like, especially with truffle risotto, I just spit a ton. I'm just really excited and I'm drooling. You really just want to like, just really like truffle, bring it on. Are you guys ready for this? Okay, maybe, wait, I'm getting too excited. I'm gonna do this. This is the wave that I was talking about, okay? So you want to add more cheese.
Ah!
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse
Why
me.
is there an oven on the floor?
Excuse me. Can you? I'm busy here. Oh yeah, World of Warcraft. Oh, I used to play World of Warcraft and StarCraft. I have brothers. Okay, I've only grated about half of this cheese brick that's going in. All right. Message retracted. What does that mean? Why is the message retracted? I want to know what Filter Steiny said. Steiny filter. All right. Check this out. This is the wave I was talking about. You want to see this? Oh, it's okay. I have a dog. It's all good. He's got it. Do you guys see this? Do you see this sexy wave? This is what you want to see. So I find that every region in Italy has a different consistency. Sometimes you like take a spoonful and you put it on a plate and it just stays in the same shape. But I find that I really love the ones that are like, you put a spoonful, and at Italy we used to have to like shake the plate and it would just spread and it would just like be this creamy, thin like risotto on the plate. Oof, that was good. Okay, best part, truffle. Truffle is happening. I'm standing far from my counter because my dog is doing a lot of help here because my assistant is kind of useless. No, I'm kidding. Too thick. Truffle. Oh yeah, Mike Bertone. You know it. Sexy, sexy. Okay, so a virtual dessert, excuse me. Yeah, Chief does eat better than we do. Oh, Leah, why was your message retracted? I'm not too sure. Okay, so this is, I've added some truffle in this. I kind of wanted to like get a head start and like really infuse it with this delicious truffle. But trust me, there's more coming onto my plate. So I'm gonna shimmy it to the side. Oh, tiny filter, yes. Yeah, I mean, Chief is getting chunky, I gotta say. Chief is going on a diet. All right, guys, I just wanna show you the final presentation, and it's gonna be epic. So we have my juicy, juicy steak. Excuse me, what's happening? Okay, juicy, juicy steak. I'm getting ready to plate. Oof. Okay, so I'm very, very excited. Let's slice this. So it's been over 5 minutes. I feel very good about this, okay? So I kind of slice it on an angle like this. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh yeah, juicy, juicy, juicy. Look at that, beautiful. So, look at that. Do you guys see this? See this? Shimmer. Oh, so good. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my truffle risotto. And what I mean by the shake, so you would put this truffle risotto on your plate and then you would give it a shake. And that's like the Italian style, right? Like this, shake. Oh, you guys see this? I mean, it just looks white, but it looks really good. And then go with a little bit of my juicy, juicy steak. All right, and my rapini with some steak fat with a little chili, a little honey, all those umami flavors. Like this. And then we're gonna finish it with Parmesan. And then we're gonna finish it with more truffle. Oh yeah. All right, I won't be cheap. Oh, so good. And then I always love to finish my Italian dishes with good quality olive oil. It's kind of bitter. I know there's butter in this, but the olive oil is like a little peppery and grassy, so good. And then a tiny crack of black pepper. And I feel like my family is like, why doesn't she cook like this for us? I will. Love you. Check it out. Oof. How good does this look? Yes. Amber Tone 7, make it sexy. Alicia Walter would be so proud. You know it. Yeah, black rice, not as much. I find that black rice is not as creamy, but it would be okay. I mean, you know, I gotta say, you know, a Nona would look at you and be like, no. I don't know what she would say, but I don't think she would be happy with black rice. I mean, you got, you know, if you're doing risotto, like you just go all out and do like the right way, you know. Oh, so like this is all. Any questions? You're welcome to come over after COVID is done. Steel cut oats. Yeah, I think you can do steel cut oats. Not on my cooking show. Sorry. Steel cut oats, yeah. I mean, you definitely can. It's got the same starchiness and the creaminess. You know, it's definitely a new trend. We're in Italy tonight, so there's no steel cut oats. But love you, Yaroslava Grinko.
Brooklyn.
Butternut squash, yeah. Yeah, definitely. You can smell it from there. What am I cooking next? There's some stuff coming on the YouTube channel. Mike, thanks for joining so much. I really appreciate it. I feel like we should cook side by side because I think it would be fun, and if that's possible, because I'm a total like tech YouTube nerd noob. I don't know if that's possible, but I'd love to cook with you again. Love you guys. I don't know. I would love for you to send me some suggestions. I want suggestions for stuff. We did some salt crusted fish. There's some fun things coming. I'm very hungry. Yes, Zoom cook-off. Yes, so fun. Okay, love you guys. Happy Friday. Stay healthy. Have some risotto. Make some risotto. Visit my YouTube channel. Love you all. Bye.
My name is Sasha and I am a chef instructor at Italy in New York City. I grew up in Latvia, and my grandmother owned her own restaurant. Most of my cooking experience comes from her.
I'm wondering where they're going to bring in the competition.